I wanted to ask about political activism a little bit. You guys are very well known for being activists. Would you consider yourself activists before being performers?
I think, we can't separate our activism from our music. It's a marriage, and but I think that we were both raised to believe that we were, citizens of the world, citizens of our communities, that it was important to take part in your community, however that manifested itself. So we were raised with those values, that we don't come from nothing and that we don't live in a vacuum and that we're part of a network and a part of a integral relationships between people and community and plant and animal life and all that stuff. So I think that was implanted in, no pun intended, in both of us very early.
Go on.
Very early on. And then when Amy and I just started playing in bars and clubs and stuff when we were very young, we realized how easy it was to organize a benefit concert. So we did one for local house for homeless women and their children so that women could go to work and their kids could be taken care of. And we just put that together and invited other artists from the community. And it was like, hey, we can do this. We can. And so that was sort of like the seeds were planted for actual implementation of activism. And then we just, as the years went on, we were just so fortunate to network and meet people and gain resources. Our record company was very supportive of our activism at the beginning and for a long time. So everything just fell into place. But it all started from a very pure place of how we were raised.
I know that you're going to be spending a couple of weeks in Australia. When you come to a new place, do you like to learn a bit about the political and social sort of justice issues that are happening in that place?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times before we come, we get emails of groups that want to set up tables at our shows, like in the lobby, and tell us what's going on. And sometimes it's just community organizations that are just doing an ongoing, it's not a crisis management type situation. It's like they're doing ongoing work in the queer community or in the women's community or the anti sort of nuclear contingent. So there's a lot of issues that cross-pollinate, all over the world. So we get messages, and then we have groups that are connected to groups over here sometimes, and we'll do things, maybe let someone get up and speak or something like that. So yeah, we do like to learn because there's a lot to learn. There's a lot of changes that happen in 4 years in a political system. So
for sure,
it's we come as very young people, and then we try to learn as much as we can in 2 weeks. Basically.
Jumping around a bit, back in 2009, you founded your own record company, IG Recordings. Why was that something that you wanted to do?
Well, Amy had many years of experience. She owns her own indie record label and has for a long, long time now.
Damon Records?
Damon Records. And then we had a long run with, it started as CBS Records. It was bought by Sony. We were assigned to Epic. We had a long run with them, and it was a good run, but it ran its course. And then there was an opportunity to sign with some smaller labels. Disney we signed with. I think at that point, Amy definitely would have gone independent. I just sort of held out for some hope that we could get into films or sort of broaden our audience in some way, just use that as a resource. But we put one record out for them despite our differences, and then they dropped us. We were going to go in the studio anyway and make a record. At that point, we were completely relieved. I remember the day we heard the news, it was kind of like, oh, well, who cares?
You weren't shocked about being dropped?
We weren't shocked at all.
We were sort of looking at a way to get out of it. And then it happened. And I think the reality was, in a good sort of relationship, we both realized that we weren't doing good stuff for each other. And so it was good. They recognized it, and they did it, which is great,
So we feel complete autonomy now. We signed a distribution deal with Vanguard, and they're just a bunch of music lovers. They're cool people, and they span the age spectrum, which is cool. And now we have been around so long that we have all the relationships we need really to make the records and put them out there and do the press and travel and stuff. And which we're very grateful for. We have the same management team we've always had and the same agent. A lot of long-term relationships. So the only thing we have to be more concerned about now is budget, but it's better because we don't like to waste money anyway. We don't have to make decisions through a middle person. We just make our own decisions, keep a close eye on the budget. People have cut us breaks so far, so good. But it feels fantastic to just be able to do our own thing whenever we want to. And I think we're more productive because of it.
I hear that there's possibly a new studio album coming out or being recorded later this year.
Yeah, right after this tour. Like
any little secret treasured notes you can tell us about that album?
We don't really know much about it yet, besides the fact that we're going to do it.
Peter Collins is going to produce it.
He's produced for you before.
Yeah, and we made a holiday record last spring, put it out this holiday, and we used kind of a bunch of bluegrass players in Nashville, and we had so much fun that was kind of the first thing was like, okay, let's make a record with those people again. So it's going to be a bunch of Nashville cats, playing bluegrass and country, and they'll be, it'll be us, but it'll have that influence in it, which is awesome, really fun. So kind of we put together the same team, and we'll do it in May. We're going to do it right when we get home from this. And it'll come out in the fall, in our fall, I guess, which is, y'all spring. Yeah.
I'm going to get you to introduce your last song in a moment, but firstly, thank you so much for joining us on The Music Show.
Thanks,
Amy Ray,
Michaela.
Emily Saliers.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
us. Here's a song from, God, when is this from?
It's from the first Indigo Girls epic record.
88.
88.
1988. Kid Fierce. Pain from pearls. Hey, little girl, how much have you grown? Pain from pearls. Hey, little girl, flowers for the ones you know. Are you on fire from the years? And what would you give for your kid fears? A secret staircase, running high. You had a hiding place. The secret staircase, running low. They all know now you're inside. Are you on fire from the years? And what would you give for your kid fears? Your kid fears. We're skipping stones, and we know the price now. What's innocent will do. As for me, how much further we can spin? How much further if we are smooth? And are you on fire from the years? And what would you give for your kid fears? What would replace the rent for the stars above? Replace the need with love. Replace the anger with the tide. Replace the ones that you love. jet lag version.
I broke a sweat on that one. Dang.
That was fantastic. Thank you.
Do we need to do it again?
No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you think?
Camera.
Camera, exactly.
You're funny.